So
totally
tell me about
different
Addict to
direction.
Athlete, how it started and what is it right now and how big is it?
So
how
so
many people do
there's
you guys help?
so there's one in New Mexico that's the biggest right now. Shout out to my buddy Johnny Armio that runs it at the Albuquerque Center. Oh no, it's not Albuquerque. They run it at a place called Soul Cafe in New Mexico. SOUL Cafe, and he runs it there. It's integrated into their probation, parole departments.
Wow.
That's how we do it too. We go to community
Prisons.
corrections and do it there.
That's
And
great.
try to help them understand. And our program is based on what they call criminogenic needs. And the criminogenic needs are like antisocial associates, antisocial or pro-criminal activities, pro-criminal mentalities. And so we're trying to get them to understand like that, especially the gang affiliated, right? Like they're so in, and we're trying to get them to understand that everything that helps you survive on the street will destroy you in society. So you on the street, it's all ego, how you're perceived. In society, it's self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. And so it's really easy. Like we work with them to say like, let go of this. Like you can't tell your boss, fuck you, because your ego's hurt. You have to know in self-esteem that I have positive self-esteem. I'm worth something. And you tell your boss, okay, I got it. Right. And so letting go of the ego. So we're trying to deprogram them when we're doing. And then we also, criminogenic needs is based on risk, need, responsivity model. What are they going to respond to? What's their risk? How can we help them? And so it's, you know, and addiction is a criminogenic need, but a lot of times we got to fix the other stuff first. And so it's like, and then it's, when I did a book signing in New York, Sober Active New York, and I taught a spin class to a bunch of tough, tatted up, tough looking dudes, and we're doing techno, and I'm like doing hands up, like on a spin class.
Wait, these were inmates or former inmates?
They were former inmates, tough looking dudes, and they're on a spin bike. They're like, you know, what up, homie? This music's fun, you know, like, and they're like, let go of their ego. They let go of being tough guys. I'm going up, down, left, right, clap, you know, and they're doing all of that. And I'm like, this is exactly what we want to do. Like, and they were afterwards, they were like, that was so fun. I never thought of doing a spin. I mean, the majority of the class was teaching them how to clip their shoes into the bikes. and then when we were done, like I was like, we're going to leave you fools there till you figure it out, because they were stuck on the bikes.
Were they wearing like the tight pants,
no,
the tight shirts?
No, they were wearing like
I'm sure they
baggy sweats and football gear.
You're not going to see me dressed like a biker.
But they did have to put the shoes on because the bikes had the pedals.
Yeah, I've done spin before.
They couldn't get it in, and they couldn't get out. And that was, and I was like, you know, you got this big tatted up dude, and I'm like grabbing his foot, like, stop moving your foot. It goes in and then to the side.
Right.
So, and that's what we're doing. Like we do yoga. Like it's so cool to do yoga with dudes that are like, the scariest, like if I saw him on the street, I would get in my car and lock the door, and then I'm having him do down dog, right? And I'm like, okay, this is called Warrior One, you know, like, and doing stuff like that. And it's letting go of their ego, finding out that there's more out there, you know?
So why are you going to correctional facilities? Is it because you realize that a lot of them are former addicts and there's a lot of, explain to me.
Well, because not a lot of correcting goes on at correctional facilities. And so we want to be there helping correct, right? And so we have a coach that goes into some community corrections, and they keep the community safe. And then, you know, you have a captive audience to drink the Kool-Aid, and hopefully, or proverbial Gatorade, maybe, like, you know, instead of the Kool-Aid. And so I just think that we're showing them another way, and we're trying to get them to understand. And then, you know, I work for an evidence-based treatment center, and I'm the officer of operations and innovation. And I have a clinical background. I have a PhD. You know.
Okay, so you do so much. Break down for me what you do. So you work in this treatment center. So you have athletes, addicts to athletes.
So here's the day. So the way we designed Addict to Athlete is we have a CrossFit or functional fitness gym called Stay Invincible, Colorado.
Okay.
It was actually sick, and it used to be Stay Sober in CrossFit is what was going to be the name. But CrossFit does not like you to take stances like that, so they didn't approve our name. So I switched it to Stay Invincible, Colorado, because we already made stuff that said sick. And so I was like, the idea is when you're young, you think you're invincible.
Right.
And so this is like what my day looks like. So my wife and I get up probably about 3 a.m.
What?
And then we put headlamps on, and we have 3 dogs that like, and our dogs taught us like what unconditional love is. We run with our dogs every morning. We run 3 miles. You know, I also teach it at the college, and so I teach online. I'll grade all my papers and then I'll change clothes.
What do you teach?
I teach addiction, case management, criminology, a little bit of everything. And so then, and that's where my passion is now. It's not helping the individual. I'm at that level where I want to train the people that are going to carry on the work and make sure they're trained properly and think outside the box and be innovative. And so, and also how and help them navigate how to deal with the politics and the stigma of addiction. And also, a lot of people in recovery go into addiction. They're not truly haven't done the work and they want to work in the field. And so I like working with them and making sure this isn't about you. This is about them. You know, I want to share my story. If you're sharing your story, you're not hearing theirs. Right. And there's a time and a place for all of that.
Right.
And so, so I teach, you know, I'll grade my papers. Then I go to work at the biggest treatment center in the state of Colorado. You know, like we do everything. We're the #1 SUD center.
And what do you do there?
We do prevention education. We do interventions and detox. We do residential treatment at a lower level, at a high level. And then we have criminogenic programs. And then we do recovery, sober living, and have peer support. Wow. And so I'll work that all day. And then I go to another gym and I teach spin at a gym that's like a big kind of traditional like gym. It's called Pueblo Athletic Club, but it's a lot like 24-hour fitness. Yeah. And then I teach spin there. And it's like my way to give back because the people that owned that gym, they passed away. Their son runs it now. And they were a big part of giving me a discounted membership, giving me gym stuff when I got. So I keep my foot in the door there. So I teach there. And then, you know, I hang out with my wife. We chill and run with, you know, play with the dogs. And then we do it all over again the next
3 a.m. the next morning. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. And did you ever think, it's pretty incredible, like when you were in active addiction, when you were at the worst of the worst, I mean, you never thought that this was going to be your life, right?
So.
Or maybe you did.
Your other person talked about imposter syndrome, right? Like, I'm almost feel ashamed when people call me Dr. Rob. Like I almost feel like I didn't earn it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I almost feel like I don't deserve it. Like how come so many of my friends died? That would be the one thing that I have not felt. I'm always waiting for like a feeling of impending doom or feeling of undeserving. And like I have to practice what I preach and remind myself. But because I was playing catch up. I was such a piece of shit when I was using. And I got an associate's degree. I didn't walk straight into bachelor's degree full time. Got a bachelor's degree, didn't walk straight into again. Got a master's degree, didn't walk. I knew I had to get a PhD because I was just playing catch up and trying to go where I thought my parents knew where I was capable of. My brother knew what I was capable of. And I wanted to prove that and I just, nothing was ever good enough. And then I got to a PhD and I'm like, well, I got to accept the fact that I've done this, I've earned this, but imposter syndrome is difficult. And especially when you know, like people that I've used with or people that, you know, I partied with are dying or they're, you know, in prison or they've lost limbs because of, you know, and thank God I never used like that in my city that I live in now, because I don't have to run into them on a daily basis. But social media makes it like where you see them and I hear and they'll, remember this dude, like he just died, you know? Oof. And so I think for me, when you say, did I ever think, I honestly never thought I was going to make it out of 30. Like, you know, I stopped using, I think when I was, you know, around that age. And I just always thought like, if it got so bad, I never wanted to commit suicide, but I was like, there's always an out. You know, it was always on the menu. So, and overdose was always on the menu. It's like, if things get so bad, you know, if I had this mentality, like, you know, if you got pulled over, just eat all the dope and go to sleep high. You know what I mean? Like that, I had this terrible, terrible feeling that I was never going to make it. So now to look back at 52 and somebody's calling me Dr. Rob or treating me with respect or say that, like, you know, like I'm really intimidated by who you are. I'm like, I don't see myself as that. Like a part of me still sees myself like as somebody that was undeserving and broken. And it takes a lot. Like I truly think that people that have been in recovery and walk the line of recovery, we live in gratitude. Sometimes I wake up, I look at my dog and I'm like, I fucking love you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love you. You make my life better. I look at my house, you know, I get to run and I'm just so grateful. to my wife, to my brother, to my family. I'm just like, I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful that's my table. That's my TV. Like, look where I live, like I get to celebrate all that. Sometimes I walk in and I have a mountain bike, I have a gravel bike, I have a triathlon bike. I'm like, how did that happen? Like, I don't deserve this, but I do deserve it.
Right. I think we should all do that more often.
Yeah.
All of us, regardless. I mean, I think we should look around us and realize just how lucky we are.
I think people that have been through hell that make it out the other side, we want to do that. Like, we want to look at everything and say, thank you. Thank you for like just the universe, God, whatever. Thank you for just giving me this last chance to get all this, because there were so many times I didn't have it. There were so many times where, my hands were black my fingertips were black from swirling the pipe. And, I was hungry. I was alone, especially when I didn't have drugs, and people are like shutting the door in my face because they know I'm just trying to get something from them, or, not having money. And, I mean, I went through stages where I was, asking for spare change and trying to hustle money somehow, I always tell this story that I had a gas can, and I would stand next to my car because my parents were good to me. They always made sure I had transportation. And I would say, hey, I ran out of gas. And there would always be somebody that would put gas in the gas can. I'd be like, I don't need gas. I need money for drugs. Wow. And I'd be so mad that they gave me gas. I've been in that
situation where people ask me for money at the gas station. And I was like, I'll pay for your gas. Yeah, exactly.
And they would do it. And then I'd be like, then I'd be like, do you want to buy gas to the next person that comes by?
Right.
But to be where I'm at now, it's real to be here talking to you. Like, I felt on the way, I told my brother, I go, it's probably a scam. She's probably not even really there. This is probably a setup. They're going to rob us. Like, why would she want to talk to me? You know what I mean? He goes, no, I'm pretty sure it's legit. And then I think
imposter syndrome is very, very prevalent and common. I mean, I definitely have it. It's partly why I get so nervous anytime I have to do any public speaking. I am fine in front of a camera, and I can be in front of 10 armed men with masks, and I am totally fine and not nervous. The moment I step on a stage and I have to look at people, or the moment I'm like being interviewed, I feel that. I feel they're gonna know that I'm really stupid, that I'm really dumb, I'm actually not very smart, and I don't have that much knowledge. I have that, and that's imposter syndrome in many ways.